All right. So yesterday we talked about some terms in lesson 2-3. Coefficients. You remember what a coefficient is? Take out your notes.
I don't think we ever talked about it. I know what that is.
Yeah, we did.
Yesterday. I know what it is. Oh, the concept we didn't talk about.
Yeah, the concept of coefficients. So what does the word coefficient mean? Look in your, open your notes. What does coefficient mean? Follow directions, open your notes. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, now we've got our notes open. So, coefficients. Jacob? Yeah. The number of variables that you have. In other words, the number in front of the variable tells you how many of those you have. 3x tells you that there are how many x's? 3. Yeah, so the coefficient is 3. Okay? The coefficient is 3. Is 7 a coefficient? No, why not? Because there's no variable. It's not a variable term. Now, all variable terms have a coefficient. Sometimes it's 1. Sometimes it's positive. Could be a positive number like 4. Could be a negative number like -3. It's whatever number is being multiplied by the variable, or whatever number is in front of the variable. So the coefficient for number 10, Jacob?
Yes.
The coefficient for number 10?
The coefficient number 10 is 2.
Number 10?
3.
3. The number 3. That's what you write. The number 3 says name the coefficients. There's 1 in this expression. In the expression 3x plus 7, there's one variable term. 3x is a variable term, and its coefficient is 3. Does that make sense? Bethany?
I put 3x.
Okay.
Would that still be correct?
No, because you named the coefficient and the variable. Okay? The coefficient is just the number, it's not the variable. Alright? Now, like terms. Are there any like terms? That's another one from your notes. What is a like term? Maya? Close your notes.
I have my notes at home.
Oh, you left your notes at home?
Yeah, but I wrote it.
Oh, you wrote them in.
Yes, I looked it up.
Okay. Okay. Melina. Like terms. What are like terms?
A term is a number or an expression for
Okay. So these are both terms. This is a variable term. 3x is a variable term. 7 is a numerical term. That means 7. Okay. Now, are they like terms? What are like terms, Melina? Go back and look at your notes and describe for us what like terms are. Yeah, two numbers that have the same variable. Two numbers that have the same variable. Does 7 have an x? If it had an x, that would be like the 3x. But these are not like terms because this means 3x's, And this just means 7 of something. So they're not like terms. So you can leave that blank. There are no like terms. Or you could write none.
Right.
There are no like terms, okay? Constants. What's a constant?
Just like a regular number?
It's just a regular number, or it's called a constant term. There are two different kinds of terms. There are variable terms and there are constant terms. Constant terms do not have a variable. So what is the constant term in that expression? Maya?
7.
7. So write 7 there. Okay? Let's go to number 11. Coefficients in this expression. 4m plus negative 3n plus n. 4 is a coefficient because that says 4 m's. So put 4 as one of them. Krista?
One's negative 3.
Negative 3. Because it says negative 3 n's. There's one more.
Oh,
Joe?
I think it'd be 1.
1.
What?
Because there's 1 n. And so automatically, if it doesn't have a number, then it means 1. So 1 is a coefficient in this expression. Okay? Are there any like terms then?
Yes.
What are the like terms? 1n, comma, so and, another one. 4m,
Oh, sorry.
negative 3n. These two terms, and I'll circle them, these two terms are alike. Negative 3n and 1n. And that means that we can do what with those terms? If we were solving this or simplifying this, what could we do with those like terms? Andrew? We could add those together. Okay? The rule in algebra says you can add like terms. Okay? You can add like terms. It doesn't say you can subtract like terms. So what do we have to do if there's a minus sign? Put a plus sign in front of it. Okay? Because you can add like terms. You must insert the plus sign in front of the minus sign. They both have the same variable. They both are n's. Yep. They both are n terms. Anytime they have the same variable, you can add them. Okay? Number 12. What are the coefficients? Otto?
6 kp.
Whoop.
Or is that 6k?
Just,
6. Yeah, right.
we're just looking for the numbers.
9 and 1.
6, 9, and 1, because 1 kp, and this says just kp, that means that the coefficient is 1. Okay? K is not a coefficient because a coefficient is a what? It's not a variable, it's a number. Right. Coefficient is a number. Alright. Like terms. Which ones are like terms? Devlin? Which ones are like terms?
And then 6K and 9,
6kp
RKP
and
and 1KP.
1kp. That means we could add those if we wanted to. What? 6kp and 1kp. Those are the only like terms. Okay? And are there any constant terms? Bethany? Close. It's negative 14. Remember, the negative sign stays with the number because this is what, Krista? Don't listen to her.
I thought that this was a minus sign.
And so what should you put in front of it? A plus sign, because the constant term is negative 14. It's not positive 14. It's negative 14. So you must do what? Listen. Insert a plus sign in front of the minus sign. Yep. The constant term is negative 14. Okay? Number 13. Katie? What are the coefficients?
8, 6, 3.
Close.
Negative.
Negative
8.
8. Yep. 6. And
Negative 3.
negative 3. Okay? That's why you have to put plus signs in front of the minus signs. Alright? It's one of the biggest mistakes. One of the hardest things to remember, but it's so important, is to think of this as negative 3BA and negative 8Y. Okay? Anytime there's a minus sign, it makes that term negative. How about like terms? Sophie? This is kind of a trick. This one's a little tricky. Yeah. Good. And negative 3BA. Do you know why those are like terms?
They have the same.
They have the same, even though they're in a different order, they are the same because of what property?
Oh!
Bella? Commutative property of multiplication. Very good, Sophie. The commutative property of multiplication says we can change the order of multiplication because this says negative 3 times b times a. And this is the exact same variable expression then. Okay? And then what are the constant terms?
7.
Yep, positive 7. That's it. Siji.
For coefficients of power y for 8 and 6ab and 3ba for
How are 6ab and 3ba negative 3ba alike?
Yeah.
They have the same what? They have the same letters. This is not a like term, this is a coefficient. Last one. What are the coefficients? Otto?
2 and negative 5.
Close. Yep, those are correct. 2, negative 5,
And 1.
and 1.
There was one.
Because that 1 in front of the C.
But there's also a C over there.
But that one, oh, and we could put another 1 there. Yep. Okay. So there's 2 1s. Yep. And we put a plus sign in because this is a negative 5C. Okay? Did you get that one? -5? Good.
Yes.
Good.
What about the other one?
The other one, does that have a C next to it? If it doesn't have the same, it doesn't have a variable, it's not a coefficient. Okay? Then it's a what, Catherine?
That's a constant.
That's a constant. So we put that over here. What are the like terms, Michael? Yep. 1C plus 2C plus 1C plus -5C. Those are all like terms. And we can add all those together. Okay? So, that is what we're doing with constants, coefficients, like terms. You need to be able to identify those and get really, really good at identifying coefficients, constants, and like terms. Okay?